Captain Morgan, and I heard the trial. The jury came back. I was waiting on it actually, but I was scheduled to talk to Clarence today. But I was trying to get some nice background things going on in here. What's going on in my background right now? Little background. Yeah, boy, Daystar Peterson. Daystar Peterson, convicted, guilty. Now, the reason why this is very close to me is because many know, salute to you, Christopher. That boy is from my town. He's from out here. His daddy actually preached for me in my church, Sunstar. Daddy's is a preacher. Was in Africa, moved back to Canada. I heard him online. I said, "Man, when you come back to Canada, come preach for me." Fantastic little preacher. I saw him a few years later in the gym working out. He's kind of cut from my kind of cloth. You know, guys that looks like, and he's an immortal. Melvin the Stanley. Why we calling that child Melvin? Man, the stories that I kept hearing, I heard Meg just couldn't get her story straight. And now, I believe it was 7 women and 5 men found him guilty, but listen to this. He was charged with having an unregistered firearm. It's kind of hard to get around. All right? And then he was charged with discharging his weapon, causing injury. Right? So I don't know what actually happened. All I understand is that this is from 2020. She alleges this boy shot her pinky toe off, like like Eddie Murphy in Harlem Nights. You know, remember Eddie Murphy in Harlem Nights? When the woman smacked him, knocked him out, and he went and got a little gun and shot her pinky toe off. Boom! Well, apparently he shot off Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not going to insult that woman, call her Melvin, although that was funny as hell. Because Meg's still fine. Come on now, leave this girl alone. They said there's multiple DNA on the gun. All right? All this kind of DNA evidence. To me, the whole thing is about, it was an accident. It clearly was an accident. Or it was him trying to, show off. But this whole thing's clear. Meg's not dead. She got hit with shrapnel. It wasn't even she wasn't even shot. She was hit with shrapnel or something. Like, it wasn't really a bullet that hit this girl. But this is not the biggest part. This is not what I really wanted to say about this. This is what I want to say about this. If you can avoid having the court of public opinion decide whether you're guilty or not, you better go ahead and do it. Listen, this is the mistake I think his defense attorney made, and I don't know if you can do this in the States, but in Canada, you can elect to have a judge-only trial, not a jury and a judge. The jury and the judge, in the case of 2 superstars like that, or famous people, this becomes basically a conversation of who's more popular. Period. It's not about the law anymore. Now, assuming he has competent attorneys, as me and Captain Morgan start our night, assuming he has competent attorneys, the scenario really is, did his lawyers believe that a judge would find him innocent? What actually happened? The DNA was not in the gun. I'm just getting myself together after an abusive relationship. I have a little baby. I need a little help. The support system, we're all needing $65 for a hotel. Okay, that's a terrible situation, divine feminine justice. Okay, so his His DNA was not on the gun. They found Tory and Kelsey's DNA. They just couldn't conclusively determine whose DNA was responsible for the shooting since they both touched the gun. It's common in cases. But that's the point is, it's an unregistered gun. This is the issue. It's an unregistered gun. They have the gun. Right? It's how court works. No gun, no crime. No body, no crime. If they got the gun, you got a problem. It was determined inconclusive due to mixed DNA in the gun. Okay. But they have the gun. This is the issue. DNA on the gun is about who touched it, who didn't touch it. Fine. But if you have a gun and you're not a registered gun owner, boom, you're in trouble. That's what he was convicted of. Having an unregistered gun. And then once you have an unregistered gun, you have it. You're in possession of it. It's in your car, it's in anywhere that is in your capacity to say your dwelling. And then the gun goes off, it's your responsibility there. So let's use a different scenario as I continue. Why was the gun even pulled out? I need to know that too. He lost in court of public opinion first. That's right. This man, listen. Let me do my first thing first. If you got a suspended driver's license, you're driving, you're paying attention to the law. Somebody comes up behind you at a red light, boom, and hits you from behind, causes injury to themselves and you. Because your driver's license is suspended, it's your fault. It's what the cops will impound your car. You're at fault in the accident. You get charged, everything. It's your fault because you're suspended. You shouldn't be driving. Your car shouldn't even have been there. This is the whole thing. It's an unregistered firearm. You shouldn't have it. The gun shouldn't even be there. So if the gun goes off by magic, it's still on you. This is the situation he's in. That's the situation he's in. I believed him. I didn't believe Megan. Her story was too up and down. I didn't believe her. But I'm a man. I'm always going to believe the man first. Plus, I know the little boy's daddy. And apparently, the father lost it in court, got up. The deputies had to take Apostle Sunstar out the court. You devils, demons, you know what you did? You know what you did? It was ugly. Apparently the stepmama was wilding too. Didn't look good. Well, I can't blame them. Right? Now, not like Sam Bankman-Fried, who's on $250 million bail. Daystar, I'm confusing the daddy and the son. Daystar is on $350,000 bail, which is still a whole lot of money. But not like Sam Bankman-Fried. $250 million they bailed that boy out for yesterday or today. A lot of blackmail. Okay. Listen, the bottom line is, when you have a judge is going to weigh the evidence. The judge is not worried about public opinion. The judge is going to weigh the evidence. I'm going to tell you straight. 9 times out of 10, never ask for a jury. Never ask for a jury. Those people don't have legal minds. Those people can't unhear stuff. Those people walk in with their own biases, especially today. My God, you think I would put 12 strangers in a position to tell me whether or not I'm innocent or guilty, who are untrained legal people, come from all their... Listen, well, my baby father used to beat me up, and he looked like my baby father, so I know he did it. Whoo! I'm never, ever putting myself in the hands of 12 strangers That judge, the only way I don't trust the judge now, because you have some hanging judges here in Toronto. Any black person goes before them, guilty. Or you have judges that used to be crown attorneys or prosecutors. If your judge used to be a prosecutor, you don't want that guy neither, because he's biased for the prosecution. If he used to be a defense attorney, you want that guy as a judge. That's the dude you want. I don't know who was listening to Daystar's case. It didn't matter. How did they pick a jury of 7 women? How did that trial, how did his defense team allow 7 women to be jurors? You could come on now. 7-5? We know it has to be unanimous. But those 5 brothers, what were they looking at? 7-5? No way. Got to be even Steven for me. And the problem with this thing, which contradicts my argument about a jury, is it just takes one person to hang a jury. It takes one person to say, nah, I'm not going for none of this. We got to learn how to deal with conflict without letting it escalate. If you pull out a gun, it's to hunt. Yeah. I ain't going to put myself in the we of Daystar Peterson and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not putting my... They live a completely different life than regular black folk. I don't know what they're doing with their life. I can't put them... They are the cartoon characters of Jewish executives who've taken these guys using ridiculous names. If you got a name like Daystar Peterson, what do you need to be called Tory Lanez for? Oh, let's go from there. Let's start with that scenario. They're in some kind of ridiculous world. I'm not going to compare myself or normal black people to them, right? I don't know why this guy felt he needed a gun. The guy grew up as a Christian little boy. He's a church boy. The stuff he sings about is so dark, or raps, or whatever you want to call his music, right? Which is neither here nor there with this crime. But I'm not putting myself in a position where I'm going to compare myself to their life. I'm just not going to do it. He's a church boy, came up with a father who's a preacher, preached at my church, great preacher, came from a good home, came from, I remember his dad saying, oh yeah, my son is Tory Lanez. I was like, I don't know who Tory Lanez is. I know who that is. When he preached for me years ago, yeah, my son's a rapper, he's doing pretty good. My little daughter, at the time, I think it was about 8, she was like, yeah, Dad, Tory Lanez. I'm like, I don't know who that is. And you know what? God cannot be mocked. Can I just be plain about that? You grew up right. You grew up properly. You did not have the absenteeism of a father. Okay? He needed to hold his son more accountable, because I know his son is famous. He's rich. But Sunstar knows that some things cannot be tolerated. And as wonderful as the money is, God is not mocked. God is not mocked. And I saw Tory on his Twitter talking about, oh, I'm just going to hope that I get my day in court and that God isn't playing. You can't play with God like that. You can't be out here rapping and singing about wickedness when you know better. You're a gunman, and now you got Megan, and you got all this lifestyle. No, man, God is not mocked. And nobody deserves to be railroaded in court. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to have their life taken away from them. Nobody deserves to do jail time for something that is not their fault. Nobody deserves that. But at the end of the day, when you come from that level of God, and his daddy's not no little country preacher. His daddy's a serious dude in the book. God is not mocked. You can't play with God. Aren't we blessed? 2 lives inside of 2 hours. Hey, come on now. Thank you. It's just a family business beginning, Miss Ann. Maybe Yah's going to humble him. There's no maybe about it, Tierra Lloyd. God is humbling him right now. He's like, God's like, listen, I'm gonna take it all away from you. I'll take everything away from you in a heartbeat. I'll clap my hands and it'll all disappear because you were supposed to be serving me. You're his gifts. Daystar. The man's name is Daystar. What a name! What a powerful name. Daystar Peterson. He could have called himself that. Tory Lanez? You reject your name that bad, you got to make up a worse name? Stepped in the devil's den. The devil don't play fair, man. The devil don't play fair, Tierra. His dad loves his son. He was there for the trial. He didn't want his son to go to jail. I would not either. I got a knucklehead right now. But sometimes I know, there's no sometimes. When you get to a certain level where you can't be corrected anymore, you show up in the throne room of heaven. And God says, I shall be judge. Hey. And many of us men, brothers like myself included, have walked that tightrope where God has to say, young man, I need to teach you a lesson. And I think this is what's happening with Daystar Peterson. I hope he comes out of whatever he comes out of knowing, he's not Tory Lanez anymore. He is Daystar. Man, that's a powerful name. That's who he is. Daystar. And he should be the light, not this dark path that he's walking down the street with. And I am not giving one iota of credence to anything Meg Thee Stallion said. I'm not giving any of it to her. But at the end of the day, you don't need a gun around women. As crazy or as mixed up or as whatever, you don't need a gun around women. That girl was acting up. I don't know what she was doing that you felt you needed to pull out a gun and to pop off. Some other folks, you tabloid people, you know this, you might know the story. I don't know who she was messing with behind your back, Tory. I don't know if she talked about your mama. I don't know if she talked about your little dingling. I don't know if she talked about the fact that you weren't able to handle the whole weight. You know, skin need lotion, teeth need Colgate. I don't know what she said to you, bro. But at the end of the day, you didn't need Miss Ann. Thank you very much, my love. Thank you very much. We blessing. We're in the blessing season with Miss Ann and $10. We appreciate the support to the page. But it doesn't matter where you are in life. You don't need to pull a gun out to impress or to threaten or to intimidate any kind of woman. And even if you think, some of y'all think that Megan is Melvin, even more so. You don't need no gun for no sissies. And I don't think I think Meg is a woman. And I think it's not fair for us to be saying that about her. She's a woman. And you know what? We got to change our mindset because our women aren't 120 pounds. They're not from Vietnam. They're not Irish, right? Black woman who weighs 200 pounds that's a fine woman. But you got a 200-pound black woman, you got a piece of woman right there. Don't play around. She ain't Becky the Negro Slayer. 200-pound black woman, still a good-looking woman. She got all her parts in the right place. Now she can wrestle with you. Oh yes, she can. You can't steal the covers from her with her 200 pounds. I'll tell you what, if she's 6 feet tall and she got 250 on her, she's still all right. Come on now, she's still all right. All right with me. Come on. So don't call her that because she's a big girl and she's tall and she's strong. Hey, that's how our women are. That's how our women are. So y'all got to get in the gym and do some push-ups. I had a boy back in college. His name was Bobo. Bobo was about 175 pounds, 6'4", 175 pounds. He had the biggest hands I've ever seen on a human being. Bobo would take his hand. He used to do this all the time. Put his hand in the back of my neck, and his fingers literally would come down to like my forehead. Big dude, big handed dude, skinny, big handed dude. And Bobo used to like him big. I'd be like, Bobo, his name was Ron Harper. I said, Bobo, why you like them girls big like that? He goes, baby, I like them thick. I like them big boned. Hey, that's how we like them. So if Mel, or Megan, sorry, is a little bit on the beefy side, that's okay. That's okay. You know? My ex, she out there living her best life. She on boats, she dancing and stuff. I see her on the boat, right? I always used to tell her. She always chooses. She wasn't always want to take off weight. I was like, girl, I like it like that. 275 pounds of good light skinned women. Come on now, big old girl. But back girl on the back end, she ain't big like that. Back girl on the back end, she was solid 165. She's tall, strong, long drink of water. 165. She a middleweight. She the middleweight champ. But if Meg got a little thickness on her, leave that girl alone. Don't call her Melvin, unless you know something I don't know. So leave that alone. Listen. This thing is crazy because it's been in the media for about, what, 2 years now? Christmas time. I believe he's out. I think he was rearrested lately because he put something on Twitter mentioning her name. He's not supposed to contact her or whatnot. So they came and they rearrested him. Say, yo, don't call the woman's name. Apparently they're still messing with each other, I heard. This is what I heard. I don't know nothing. I don't know a thing. But I heard they still messing with each other. So my understanding is that they actually still want to mess with each other, even though she still holds to the story, because sometimes you take this thing too far, police are involved, courts involved, you can't unwind it. You can't pull it back, right? So, Meg walking around with 9 toes, and Tory got a criminal record now. Now, this is how it's going to affect him. There's another thing y'all don't know. He's not going to be able to travel back to America now. He's convicted of a felony in America. His career is over in America. He'll never get back. He'll never get a visa. He don't need a visa because he's Canadian. He'll never get it's called a waiver. It's a waiver visa, really. He can't perform anymore in America. That's it. Right? Gun charges and you shot somebody. That's a wrap. All his money was in America. A lot of these guys, Drake and all these dudes, they know. They don't want to be here right now in the cold winter time. I can't even leave. I haven't seen Batgirl for a couple of days. I can't go. I can't drive to that side of town. I can't go up there. When this snow come down, that's it. Wrap up. Stay in the house. These guys don't want to be over here. So Tory, at the star formerly known as Tory Lanez, Daystar, Peterson, he better come to Brampton and open a church. Listen, you better come out. Listen, I need a worship leader. We about to put something together. You come out here, Sunstar might take him back, but I don't know what his daddy's doing. But if he wants to come out here and open a little church, come on down, Daystar. Right? When they let you out, the who's gal, come on back over here. We put something together over here, but you ain't going back to good old America. That's a wrap for you. Europe might not even let you in because you too famous. They know now. Everywhere you go, there's going to be an Interpol, a CPIC. The only place you can go is Canada. You might be able to go to Mexico. They might let you in there. But I don't know where else you're going to go to perform. Let me see here. Your notifications on priority. Okay. You still have to see if he's sentenced to prison time as well. Yeah. He's got to go for sentencing, but, he's going to get something. He's not going to get out scot-free. Right? He's got gun charges. Gun charges don't play with gun charges. You're going to jail. Not going for long. Might not be going for long, but you're going to jail. You might have to do a little walkthrough, but you're a rapper. Going to jail is par for the course. Getting shot, going to jail, par for the course in rap music, right? Isn't that what happens? That's what y'all do? You get shot or you go to jail. You want that degree? It's all yours, Tory Lanez. That's what Tory Lanez gets you. Tory Lanez is in the street, right? You assumed a personality that wasn't even who you are. And now you're having to live it out. I don't understand these young men. So, Tyra, why are you in my thoughts? You in my thoughts, Tiara. So dysfunctional. You're finishing my sentences. You must be from Trinidad and Tobago, or you're in this. You're in the Captain Morgan. You might be somewhere in here. But listen, this is it. How are you guys appropriating these fake personas and then living out the most negative narrative of your artistry? That's crazy. Why do I wanna do that with my life? What, bro? You could be like, hey, bro, these are just songs, man. These are songs. You guys are like making this your life. Guys like Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne. I don't know how many more tattoos Lil Wayne gonna put on his face. I don't know how. What are you hiding from, bro? There's some things that don't wash off. Criminal charges don't wash off. Those things, these young boys are just wrecking their life, man. Wrecking their life. And I can't blame Son. I'm not gonna blame Sunstar for what his adult son is doing, but I can blame him for endorsing it, saying, hey, yeah, my son's doing this rap thing. I don't care how successful you get. Like, I'm sorry. There's certain things, I don't care how successful you are. If my sons become multi-billionaire drag queens, they got drag queen careers. They're being seen all over the world. They've got endorsements, and the world is beating a path to their door as the greatest drag queens ever to be known in the history of the world. I don't want a penny. I'm not taking a picture with you. You better not come to Christmas looking like that. I'm not calling you by your drag queen name. And we ain't talking about your little dirty career when you come to my house. I don't care if I'm still living in the projects with a pet rat named Wilbur. You ain't coming up in here looking like a drag queen, acting like a drag queen. I don't want you don't roll up in the Rolls Royce from your drag queen money. Don't do any of that. Because certain things you're just not supposed to, as a parent, accept from your child. Period. And especially when you're a serious preacher, you don't accept that from your child. You don't accept the money, you don't accept the name, right? But I appreciate the fact that you go to court. But I'd be in court sitting there talking about God. It's your way, God. It's your way. I'd be singing them old songs. God is God, and he always will be God. Ooh, God is God, and he always will be God. He's the God of the fiery furnace. I'd be singing church songs. They're talking about, that's what I'd be doing. Some of y'all be in there burning sage. I'd be there with olive oil, just walking in the court, just talking about pata, sprinkling, pata. I'd be sprinkling my son. Come on. Hey, he's the God of the lion's den. He's the God of all creation. He's God in the hearts of men. Oh, sorry, Judge. Sorry. God is God. I'd be in there talking about, yo, listen, he ain't getting no church, but he's gonna get some church when I'm in here. That's right. Don't call him Tory Lanez. I named him Daystar Peterson. Shando, kill a mosquito. I'd be in there like that. In my listen, one of my boys got hemmed up, and he was doing some nonsense in his teenage years, still doing nonsense. And I came to court. I had my full regalia on, full regalia. The judge had to call me by my office because my office was being worn. And they walked him into court. He had handcuffs on. And the terrible part of this story is he was being held from me for years. I had to fight to get access to him. And he left me about this big. When I seen him in court, he was looking me eye to eye. He came out 6'5". Left him as a little kid, came out 6'5". Could not get access to him. I was in court fighting until a police officer called me and says, Bishop, I got your son. If you want to come get him, come get him. I was like, who, what? Yep. And what did he do? Oh, you can come get him. I went to court. I walked into court, right? 6'8", walking in full regalia. The judge was like, Reverend, please sit down. I saw this, I'm like, look at this boy standing up in here, handcuffed, looking like a criminal. I don't know. It's tough in these streets, man. Don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Come on. I don't believe he's brought me this far. Don't believe. I be in there all the time. Come on. Singing hymns from Zion. See, listen. So I don't understand how Sunstar is feeling right now. I'm sure he's upset. They had to drag him out to court, apparently. Deputies descended. They said it was an ugly scene. That's how the writer wrote it. It was an ugly scene. I'm sure it was ugly. Cursing everybody. God shall judge this place. Blah. Like, that's too late. God has judged. And your son is going to jail. That's the judge. That's what he's judged. That's what God is doing right there. Okay? Can God sit silent while you get railroaded? Absolutely. God, sometimes he will sit silent and send you to jail, Joseph, because he has a plan. We just got off that. That was on the last live. He got a plan for you. You can sit silent there, but Tory Lanez, if he's not guilty of the actual crime, he's guilty of appropriating a lifestyle that is conducive to such a crime. And I'm sorry, there comes a time that every man has to look himself in the face and say, you know what? And I've done it too many times. This one's on me. I knew better than this. Should not have done this. Should not have got caught up with this. And sometimes we got to pay that price. And you know what? Sometimes the price is sitting down in an institution for 18 months, 19 months, and coming out and seeing what God has for us at the other side of it. I hope that is never my damn story, though. I hope that is never my story or any of my son's story. I hope it's never your story. But we know that prison's not the end of this thing. We know it's not the end of it. But I doggone don't want to go through that university. I don't want no part of it. I don't want to come out on the other side of that being an institutionalized Negro. We've spent too long. Black people should be straight, immune. We should get a pass from any prison. They say, we're going to give you a criminal record, but because you're black, we're not going to put you in jail. Period. Look how many of us they got locked up in prison. I said this the other day. That Blackistan, that's what I declared. Texas, California, and the state of Florida. Take them all from Florida straight on to Texas, on to California. Everything there, everything south of Dakota and all them coal up states up there. Take all that and declare it to be Blackistan. And that's what you do first. All them Negroes in prison, release them all of them. Send them all to Blackistan, just like Cuba did. When America told Cubans that they could come over, Cuba said, really? Castro's like, really? Send them all the criminals. Tony Montana and all them guys. Send all them guys over there. Right? We got too many brothers in prison. Brothers and sisters. Too many of them in prison. What y'all need to do is secede and just send them all to Blackistan. That's Blackistan. The United States of Blackistan would be Florida, Texas, big state, and the state of California. And anybody don't want to hang out in Blackistan can go join the rest of the union. Right? But we taking over everything. Taking over the banks, everything. We got our own money, right? Backed by the U.S. Don't think you're going to leave us stranded. Our money's backed by your money. That's right. That's right. We're going to get our own Federal Reserve, too. We're going to get some Jewish people to back that because you know we need them, right? For the money part, at least. Yep, we're going to do all that. We're going to take your best scientists. We're going to take half of your nuclear arsenal and point it right back at you because you're pointing it at us because we know you're scared. We're going to take all of our military, all the black people in the military. We're going to take all of them. Everyone. Take all of our black judges, our black lawyers, our black dentists, black doctors, nurses. Take them all to Blackistan. Release everybody, including Tory Lanez. Release them all and stand there and have our own doggone country. Because Tory Lanez, you did the crime, but I don't believe you should do the time because I don't think Meg should get off scot-free for her foolishness neither. I think the court has of your peers has decided that you are guilty of it, and you did the crime. Pay a fine, do some community services, dealing with nine-toe black women who got bunions and 9 toes. And, do some community service work, bro. But I don't think he should go to jail for any of that. Um, Let me see. I went to court and spoke for my son, and the judge released him that day. Come on, Miss Ann. Come on. I wrote some letters to people too, and the judge released him. I have a young friend of mine. She was in trouble. I wrote a letter. She was a drug mule. I wrote a letter. The judge released her to me. Released her. She was a drug mule, and the judge released her. And I wrote the letter from Toronto to Buffalo. And when I put my hand to pen, I'm gonna talk about Rabbi Fume tomorrow, because he asked me to write a letter for him. But when I take my words, my mind to my words to my pen, and I write, I wrote a letter. That judge released her. She was supposed to go to prison. She was a drug mule. Released her back to Canada. Another young lady, years later, tried to cross the border when she knew she was banned from America. They locked her up at the border, got her locked up, and her lawyer called me, and the lawyer was the same lawyer from the last girl, and they had the same judge, and said, can you write a letter? Again, years later, I wrote a letter. I told the judge, remember the young lady you released to me? Well, I'm going to tell you what she's doing in her life. She's done this and she's done that. She's excelling. She's great. Blah, 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 blah. And I want you to do it one more time. Release her. This girl. Release this girl. And the second lady, they released her too. And first woman, she gone. I don't know what happened to her. The other one, she's my friend to this day. And she's in Nicaragua chilling right now for Christmas time. So, Miss Ann, I know what you're talking about. I have that type of scenario too. Right? But I've gotten myself in some trouble where I wish people would write me a doggone letter. Sometimes that happens. What did Meg do? I don't know what Meg did. I can't say what the lady did. I don't know what Meg did. I know the story wasn't consistent. I know she was all over the place. The truth is easy. When you're telling the truth, it's an easy story. We got out the car, we were arguing, I gave him some chlamydia he didn't like. Whatever the story is, I gave him some chlamydia. He went and got a test. He realized that it came from me, and then he took out his gun. And he shot me in the toe. It could have been, but the story kept changing. So I couldn't follow it. I could not follow it. I can't follow a bouncing ball. The truth is easy. When you're telling the truth, it's always the same. You ask me 20 times, it's the same story. Meg's story kept changing. Oh boy. So that's all I want to say about that. That's where I am. That's where I am. I believe Tory, aka Daystar Peterson. I believe he needs to examine his life and say, hey, this ain't for me. All that fame, I don't care how much fame you give me. I don't care how much money you give me, access and privilege you give me. I will not, if you say, I'm going to give you billions of dollars, I'm going to give you Sam Bankman-Fried money, but you got to serve 9 months in jail. Nope. 26 billion, I'm going to give you $26 billion, Brereton, but you got to do 9 months in jail. You got to go to jail for 9 months, come out. Nope. I'll take being poor and free. I'm not interested. I don't want fame for jail time. Period. She was supposed to have been having relations with the other female that testified. Uh-oh. Another truth. He needs to keep his hands to himself. Megan, August, and Prince can't be all lying on him. Uh-oh. 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 I don't know. I don't know what Daystar's been doing over there. I don't know. Okay? There's no reason to put your hands on a woman. There's no listen. Let me say that. Let me even fix that. Even if you have a reason to put your hands on a woman, there's absolutely no reason to pull a gun on one. Okay? Let's put it there. Because some of y'all big old girls can fight. Come on. Some of y'all big old linebacker. Listen. Listen. Some of y'all 200-pound girls. Ooh, y'all bad. Come on. I love y'all. Y'all afraid of a scale. But but don't be afraid of this love. But and some of y'all got hands, but even if you have to put your hands on a woman, in your mind, you think you have a reason to put a hand, which I don't have a reason because I'm a big old man. I've never seen a woman could whoop me. Never. I've never seen a woman that I gotta figure out, hey, yo, I gotta go into my bag to get, no. But even if you were that guy that has to do that, there is never gonna be a reason you gotta pull a gun on a woman. And that's where I'm putting it. I don't know, Daystar, I don't know, he's not a very big man. His dad's not a very big man. And Meg might have that kung fu. I don't know what Meg got. But if this dude is running around putting his hands on everybody, he might have a little problem. He might have to sit down, in the state's institution of higher and lower learning and figure his situation out. But at the end of the day, he signed up for something that he never came from. He don't have the story. Man, I just came from nothing. I came from nothing and I built myself up. All I got is my music. He don't have that story at all. The man come from the projects. The man come from the what do you call it? The suburbs. He's a suburban man. He come from good parents. His father was a preacher man. He has nothing to say, I come from this. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to appropriate a lifestyle to back up the music. I don't know. But I know his backside had no business pulling a gun on a woman. Period. I don't care what kind of woman she is. You don't need to pull a gun on a chick. you don't need to pull a gun on a chick. That's really crossing the line. Hey, I don't know what to tell all you. I don't know what to tell all you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Because, and can we have the conversation real quick before I go? I'm going to give you a few minutes of this. Black women, you've had a lot of issues with us, and we've had a lot of issues with you. Yes, the current social narrative, let me put it this way. The current Kevin Samuels narrative is saying that our communication is strained. Yes, you have expectations of us. We have expectations of you, and those expectations have not been meeting up prior and post Kevin Samuel. And so we have been having a long dialogue of the misappropriation of black love between both genders. So we have a conversation to have, from Chris Brown to Rihanna, from Solange to Jay-Z to Beyonce, to all the way to Daystar, Peterson, and Meg. We have a lot to talk about. Why do we have these extreme scenarios taking place with our lives? Why? We go from there to DJ Twitch dancing with his family and then showing up dead the next day, which is very, very suspicious to me. And nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about how Twitch was having fun night before, and the next day he committed suicide. Nobody investigated the spouse. I'll leave that one out there. But listen, there's a very interesting and negative relationship dialogue going on between the black man and the black woman. It's not good. It's not good at all. And I'm telling you right now, if I show up missing, you better go check out Batgirl. If I show up missing, Batgirl might not be the first suspect. Go check out some of them exes. Check out how much money they transferred. They might have transferred some money to somebody, because if I show up missing, hey, it wasn't a brother. Tell you right now, we don't love each other. Tiara, get out of my conversation. But you're right. Stay in the conversation, because you're right. We don't love each other like we're supposed to love each other. What is going on? What is really going on? And the thing about loving a black woman, let me and Captain Morgan, you're giving me some inspiration, just like Tiara. The thing about loving a black woman is that loving a black woman, and no disrespect, let me be Umar Johnson, no disrespect to white women, no disrespect to the Latino woman, no disrespect to the Chinese woman, to the Asian woman, South Asian woman. No disrespect to women of other ethnicities. No disrespect to you. But when loving a black woman, it is like loving a creature that can morph into multiple beautiful women at a time. Can I talk to some of y'all? A black woman can be a redhead on a Monday, okay? A blonde on a Wednesday, okay? She could have a braid up on a Friday, okay? She could switch up her eye color and turn into a whole different woman. Some of y'all can have the hair straight, go to curly. What? Come on, a black woman. And if you look at the pantheon of blackness, if you're dating in the black female sphere, you can go with light skins, red bone, fluffy. You can go with the caramel complexions. You can go with the tall ones. You can go with the artistic ones, the soft ones, the cookers. There's too many. There's so much to do when it comes to the black woman. The black woman is the buffet of females. She is, y'all don't have it over there. I know y'all have, but we have Mandarin. We have the Mandarin. She's a buffet, baby. She's a buffet. You know what? This month, I think I'm just going to date 5'4" chocolate women with big feet and red nails. Like, you could literally look for that and find it. There's so much choices. And then you throw in the fact that some of y'all get your hair from the Chinese and you get your hair from the Indians and you put that thing on your head. Bam! Once you put that wig on, and that thing look like it's your hair. Oh gosh, you just turned into a whole different animal right now. Whew! There's so much going on with black women that we should never have a drought. As men, we should never have a problem. If some of y'all are acting up, I had to put some of you light skins on hold for a while. I had to put light skins on hold, and I went down there and went to my dark-skinned chocolate sisters, and I spent time in years in the chocolate world, and then I came out of the chocolates, and I went into the world of the mulattoes, and I came out of the mulattoes, came all the way back. I went to Jamaica for a while. I was in Trinidad, and now I'm in the island of St. Vincent with black women that are mixed with the originals. Batgirl is mixed with the Arawak and African. You know what Arawaks are? They are the indigenous, the original people of the Caribbean, the Arawaks and the Caribs. And she's mixed with them. So she's like a squaw. She's like an Afro squaw. There's too many things to be mixed up with y'all for me to be getting upset. I don't have to get upset with y'all. I just be like, oh, you're gonna act up? Okay, let's just move over. Okay, yep, we bringing these ones in now. There's too many. So, I ain't throwing Latino chicks off the bus. I'm not throwing y'all off the bus at all. None of y'all. I ain't throwing none of y'all off the bus. But I'm saying there's so much to go on with. I'm talking about the Afro-Latino girls. Like, oh my gosh, Brazil, Cuba. Lord have mercy. Come on, don't forget just Mother Africa over there. Go all the way to Ethiopia and Eritrea. You get to Eritrea, your heart just gonna stop. There's too many black women with too many black personalities that are specific to their ethnicity. A Eritrean and an Ethiopian and a Somalian woman who all look somewhat the same will behave completely different. So, I don't know what's going on with this conversation with you guys, why we are fighting back and forth. I take it as a disrespect. I got a young lady on my social media. I'm gonna call your name out. Go check her out on Facebook, Jasmine Ray. Jasmine Ray, this is your Kodak moment. You wanted attention? You got it from me. And she has nothing good to say about black men every day. And I'm her personal troll. I go in there and I tell a few jokes, trolling her every day. Negative things to say. And she's a beautiful black woman. I don't know who hurt her. I don't know what happened to her. But geez, she has nothing good to say about black men. Nothing. I've dealt with so much prejudice from black guys going after my white friends and mixed friends I got a song called Favorite Color talking about it. Send the song. You heard what Rick James said. What did Rick James say? What did Rick James say? Oh my gosh. Mm. Come on. Natural. All we do is point fingers, but we are equally at fault. Come on, spiritual war. Sure, it was suspicious. I didn't believe it's self-deletion. Come on, it's self-deletion. I like that word. Self-deletion. DJ Twitch, I don't believe it was self-deletion. I believe somebody did something to that boy because he was too happy the day before. But going back to my conversation, sisters, let me tell you something. I'm getting off right here, right? Because y'all don't like this terminology. You want to find a good black man? You want me to give you the secret of finding a good black man? I have the secret. I have the secret. Be that black woman that inspires him to be a better man. Now, you can't be that person to every dude. Some dudes, you're not their inspiration. But find a man who looks at you and is inspired by you and says, hey, no, man, this girl, I like this. When a dude wants to give up his worthless ways for you, he's inspired. When he wants to, man, he might need a little help now. Might need a little help because habits are an easy thing to get, but a hard thing to break. But when you inspire a brother to be better, you found yourself a great black man. Make sure he makes your toes curl when you look at him and your heart flutter. But when you find a brother who is inspired by you, and then what you do with him is you build him up. Most of y'all, especially Jasmine Ray, hope that's your name because I'm hoping I'm not blowing up your name. It's not. I want you guys to go search her on Facebook. Let's go look. Don't be mean to the young lady because she's going through some personal trauma. Clearly, go check out the nonsense she's saying on Facebook. But once you can build him up, build him up, because this is what most women need to look at when they look at a black man. Okay, a Rolls Royce that needs servicing. A Rolls Royce that needs servicing. Listen. Difference between a fixer-upper black man and a fixer-upper black woman is no children came out of this body, right? Weird hormones weren't affecting birth. I was planting seeds, but I wasn't pushing it out, right? So once you come across some premium real estate brother like myself, and I just be all you need to do is fix it up a little bit, Oil up some elbows, cut a couple toenails, get a haircut, fix the teeth, and put, listen, you got yourself a state-of-the-art vehicle. There are some brothers out here, and so because many of y'all are looking for finished products. Finished products ain't looking for you. Men who are looking for a teammate. That's what my boy said to me when I described Batgirl. He said, boy, you found your teammate. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. That's what we identify with. A girlfriend, a wife, sure, whatever, right? Sex friends, yeah, okay. I ain't gonna say that. But a teammate, teammate. Hey, that's my teammate. Boy, when a brother sees you as a teammate, you see how dudes operate. When you're a teammate, right? What's a teammate do? Yeah, get it back to me. Give me that assist. Teammate, that's a bond for life. That's a bond that never goes away. Teammates like, you had a bad game today, baby. But don't worry, you're gonna get it back next time. Teammates trying to build you, trying to make you better because they see when you win, they win. That's my secret. You got to look for teammates. And when you women are not teammates, we cross you off. We still will play with your body, but we crossed you off of our life plan. We still would mess with you, take you on the street and say, yeah, I got a baddie here. But if you're not a teammate, you're just hanging around. You're an accessory. You're a non-valuable accessory. You know when a brother he buys something that, it's not even real, but he's gonna wear it once, but it's not real. That's what you are. A teammate's never going away. Never, you'll never forget. You'll fight with your teammate, but at the end of the day, you got to play a game. You got to pass him the ball. He got to pass you back the ball. When you win, you hug each other and you're happy. Teammate. I want a woman in my life who's a teammate. That's the only thing that took me out of my roadman ways, is I found a teammate. And Tory Lane and Meg, y'all ain't teammates at all. Because y'all put the court in this, y'all put the police in this, y'all put public opinion in this. You guys hate black people. Tory Lane, you hate black women. Megan Thee Stallion, you hate black men. You are the epitome of why our community is dying, because you are placing yourself at odds with each other. There's no forgiveness in you. There's no mercy. There's no peace, and it's created a war, and it's continuing. And now I'm not going to join the rhetoric. Both of you are wrong. And if Tory Lane go to jail, put Meg in a cell right across from him, because both of you wrong. Both of you wrong. Both of you are a blight on the black community, on the black nation, and you both owe us all an apology. And Blackistan won't give you a passport. That's it. That's my time. This is Del K. Burton. This is the real spiel. Tory Lane and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm ashamed of both of you. You're both guilty. You're both guilty. You're both culpable. And you both don't deserve anybody rooting for you. I hope Daystar, this turns you back to God. I hope it forces you to realize this is not your path in life. This is not your legacy. I hope America closes its borders from you and you are stuck in your daddy's church and you do what you should have been doing, is growing the kingdom of God with your father, sitting down. And I hope all that money that you've made, somehow you can turn it into something good. I don't want you to be broke. I don't want you to be on your face. But I hope the songs that you sang, I hope you turn those things into songs that sing to enrich our people and uplift us and connect us with our Creator and connect us with our true identity. That's what I hope takes place, brother. And I hope nothing derails you forever. But I'm so glad you're off the railroad leading to hell. Period. That's my time. I'm Del K. Brereton. I'm nobody special. I'm just an old sinner who found Jesus. Okay. Love you. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. I'm older probably than some of you here. Our women are learning. Well, you know what, Dylan Taylor, they are learning. They are learning. And men are learning too. And the black man, come on. He's been left in a dilapidated state. Can I give the extended version for 3 minutes? The Black Panther movie I posted it in my community page, what Umar Johnson was saying, but I'll extend it. The Black Panther community is an extension of how black men have been left out of the narrative of being saviors. The savior, we are no longer your savior, although Jesus is a black man. We're no longer your savior. Now they're trying to find another savior. The woman is king. The woman is a savior. The woman is the new Black Panther. Okay? Now we're not here to protect our mothers because now they can be killed. Now they're replacing the dominance and the alphaness of who we are with Latino men and Latino superstars and saying these men are better, these men are greater. Come on now. We're not extinct. I'm a lion. I'm a gorilla in the jungle. That's a real jungle cat. The real jungle dude is the gorilla, right? Lions are great, but it's really the gorilla that's the king of the jungle. Lions don't even live in the jungle. Tigers do. But anyway, the bottom line, we are the alpha gorillas. And it's try to make all of us extinct. We are the Renaissance man. We are the man who can do everything. We're the cooks. We're the poets. We're the warriors. We're the kings. We're the priests, right? And it doesn't mean anything, black man, if you don't take care of that black woman. Don't mean nothing. If you got to shoot her on the street, if you got to drag her like a dog, if you got to abandon her after she's pushed out your children, it don't mean nothing. And sisters, some of you got to recognize that the black man that you see is never going to be perfect. He's never going to be perfect, right? He's never going to be perfect, right? If he's coming home every day, if he's trying to build a life with you, listen, and some of y'all, but he cheats. Who's he cheating with? He's cheating with other women in your community who don't respect you. They don't respect the dignity and the sanctity of black relationships. Black women who blame black men for cheating on them with black women, but they never hold these women accountable. And so now what we have is we have a whole team of chicks running around living their best life. Watch this, because they're blaming the black man for cheating on them, for leaving them, for misappropriating relationships with them. Well, what were those black men doing? They were cheating on them with black women who similarly have no respect for their relationship. If the black community had respect for each other, none of these things would happen. None of these things would happen. If a black woman had respect for herself, before that brother push up, she said, no, bro, I got to give you two or 3 months. You might be somebody's husband. I don't know. I got to take my time with you. I don't know. No. Who's your ex? Let me talk to her. Let me see what's going on. No. And brothers the same way. I know, bro. I don't sleep with another man's woman. So if you somebody else's woman, you got 2 children, I see. Where's the father? No. I got to talk to him before I can even start to date you, because this is a man's family. If we thought like that, our community would be completely different. That's my time. That's an hour in. That's 2 lives back to back. Content creator on the road. Okay, love you guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow. God bless you. Please support the page. If you are not a subscriber, subscribe. If you are not a member, be a member, because tomorrow it's fire content. Fire content. We got earth, wind, fire and spirit up. Big content talking about what Reverend Fume said to the ADL and what these people are really scheming and what they're about. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm coming live for Fire and Above. Love you. Take care. Bless you. Miss Coco B, bless you. Dylan Turner, bless you. Miss N, bless you. Thank you very much. Tierra Lloyd, bless you. As women, I don't want the pressure. It's the pressure that makes you serious. All right? I'll talk to you. Good night. Yvonne, Mila Shamar, Shalom. Bless everybody. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.